The last problem, I want you to flip a couple of pages. We're going to talk about Lois and the bread that she makes, and she's also going to maximize her profits, okay? So I gave you a hint of what to count by. Let's see how well you can apply that t-shirt sweatshirt example to this problem. Lois makes banana bread and she makes nut bread to sell. A loaf of banana bread requires 2 cups of flour and 2 eggs. A loaf of nut bread takes 3 cups of flour and 1 egg. Lois has 12 cups total of flour and 8 total eggs on hand. She makes $2 profit for banana bread and $2 profit for the nut bread. To maximize her profits, how many of each should she make? So we need to follow our steps. Step number 1 said to state your objective. So what is our objective in this problem? Well, let's read what the question says. Maximize profits. Well, if to maximize our profits is our objective, then we can write our profit equals, now figure out what is the profit. Read through your problem again. She's making banana bread and nut bread. Well, that should give you your X and your Y. The two things she's making are your X and your Y. How much profit is banana bread? Read through it. $2 profit for banana bread. And how much profit for the nut bread? Again, $2 profit for the nut bread. I like to cross off what I use, so I'm going to just scribble that out. I use this information, and then I can move on. So step 1 was to make your objective function. Step 1 is done. Let's move on to step 2. Step 2 is to state your constraints or your limits. Well, we know that she's making banana bread, and then we know that she's making nut bread. So let's put those as the titles. Banana bread and nut bread. Those are your titles because that's what we know she's making. Now think to yourself, what does she need to make banana bread? And what does she need to make the nut bread? She needs flour. That's one of the things they listed. What else is listed up there? She needs flour and she needs eggs. Alright, so far my organized chart is really looking well. And let's talk about the banana bread. How much flour does she need for banana bread? Read it over. Hopefully you see she needs 2 cups of flour for the banana bread. Well, how much flour does she need for the nut bread? 3 cups of flour for the nut bread. And you read that right here. See how it says a loaf of banana bread requires 2 cups of flour, a loaf of nut bread takes 3 cups of flour. Now how much flour does she have total? She has a total of 12 cups of flour, and that's it. The eggs, you do the same thing. For banana bread, she needs 2 eggs. For nut bread, she needs, how many eggs does it say? 1 egg for nut bread, so not as many. Okay? Now we're going to add our items together. Oh, how many eggs does she have total? Altogether, she has 8 eggs that she can use. Now let's think about what we need to do with these, okay? Can she use more than 12 cups or less or equal to 12 cups? Well, since that's all she has at the house, we have to say less than or equal to 12 because she can't use more than she has. Same thing for the eggs. Now let's make our 2 equations. The flour equation is 2x plus 3y is less than or equal to 12. And the egg equation, I'm leaving some room so I can solve for y, is 2x plus y is less than or equal to 8. Notice I left the 1 off, it's not that big of a deal. Solve this for y, so 3y is less than or equal to negative 2x plus 12 when you move the 2x over. Divide by 3, y is less than or equal to negative 2/3 x plus 4. I will make that one the green one. Okay, that's my flour equation. Now the egg equation, solve for y, this one will be a little easier. Just take the 2x over, it becomes negative 2x. I'll make that one blue. So we have green and blue equations that we need to go and graph. These are the limit equations. Okay? So I'm going to go over here. Now notice I only gave you the first quadrant to work in. That's because she can't make negative banana breads, or she can't make negative flour. She can't make negative loaves of bread. That's why we have to work in the first quadrant. So the green line comes first. Go up 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Go down 2, right 3. Down 2, right 3. All right, I met my limits. I'm going to go ahead and graph. All right, solid line because she can use the 12 cups of flour. Solid line. Blue line, go up to 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Down 2 over 1. Down 2 over 1. Let's see, the third time you go down, the fourth dot that you make, the third time you go down, you should intersect with the green line. Let's connect. Alright, I have my 2 constraints on here. Now I need to figure out where I shade. Be very careful and always double check this. For the blue line, I need to shade below. For the green line, I also need to shade below. So let's look at my graph and shade below both of the lines. In other words, underneath both of them is this area in here. Again, a funny looking quadrilateral. Don't think that it will always be a quadrilateral. Sometimes it will not. If you want to, make your points or your corners real dark with another color. There they are, all 4 of them. Okay, those are your corners. So after, that would be step 3. Step 4, is to test your vertices. So the vertices are this 0, 0, 1, which I think we probably know is not going to maximize her profits, right? I hope not. And let's count up. Let's go to the green. 1, 2, 3, 4. So over 0, up 4 is another vertice. Let's count this one right here. Over 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. So up 3, or excuse me, over 3, up 2. The last one is 1, 2, 3, 4. So over 4, up 0. These are our vertices that we need to test. We test them into, we'll just read the steps that I gave you. You test them into, find each vertex and plug them into the objective function. So here we go. The first number is the number of banana breads. The second number is the number of nut breads. So we're going to plug it into this profit equation of 2x and 2y, and that tells us our profit. So obviously 2 times 0 plus 2 times 0, she's going to make a whopping $0. In other words, if she doesn't make anything, duh, she's not going to make a profit. Let's try 0, 4. So $2 for 0 banana breads and $2 for 4 nut breads makes $8 total. Alright, well at least she'll make some type of profit. Now we'll do the next one, 3, 2. $2 if she does 3 banana breads, $2 if she does 2 nut breads, so that would be 6 plus 4, so $10 profit. Alright, so we're getting better. Now let's see if she only made nut bread or banana breads. So 2 times 4 bananas plus 2 times 0 nut bread, that makes 8. So we look at our different options, and since our goal is to maximize the profit, I see my answer happens at 3, 2. So what does that mean? That means that she needs to make 3 loaves of banana bread, and 2 loaves of nut bread, and what's her profit going to be? $10. So there you go. I hope that one was a little easier for you than the t-shirt and the sweatshirt problem. The graph was smaller. Overall, it was just a prettier problem. So that's all we're going to do. You can test some others out if you want to. Let me give you the answers. If you did this restaurant ones with the ketchup and the mustard, let me find my answer. If you chose to do the restaurant ones with the ketchup and the mustard, I tell you what, I can do that for you tomorrow in class. Because oh, there it is. If you do this one, you should get an answer of 50 ketchup and 150 mustard. Okay? And so if you want to try some more, that should be 150 ketchup and 50 mustard. And the other one, if you wanted to do the one about the TVs, if you want the answer for the TV problem, that would be 80 square feet at the first site and 20 square feet at the second site. So you can test those out, see how well you do. There's an idea of what the graph looks like for that one if you are interested. Okay, we'll see you in class.